What's up guys, welcome to my channel. To start things off, I have an anime rap channel called Sensei Beats. I've posted a few anime raps there and I'll continue to post more and more. You should check it out, your support and feedback would be much appreciated. Secondly, there's my Discord server if you want to join an active otaku community where there are regular anime quizzes and stuff like that. You should consider joining it. The links to both the channel and the server will be down in the description box down below. Alright then, let's get into today's video. As you can see, the anime we're going to be talking about won't just be about overpowered main characters, they'll be about fantasy and romance. You're definitely going to enjoy these. Well then, shall we begin? First off on our list we have 𝐜𝐴 no Maisouken. Imagine getting a cute ghost as a roommate when you're only 16 years old. Furthermore, you're a boy who's just hit puberty. That aside, this anime takes place on an island in the Pacific Ocean, where there's everything necessary for the education and well-being of teenagers and children alike. This island was built by the Great Seven. We'll talk about their leader in a moment. For now, let's talk about the main character, 𝐜𝐴. He gets disowned by his family and happily arrives at this new island to start a new life. He was pretty much done with his father for a long time, and that's why getting disowned was a blessing in disguise. Now that he's at the island, he rents a room and immediately finds out that there's a cute little ghost already living in his room. The name of this ghost is 𝐜𝐴, and she was the leader of the Great Seven that found this island. And now that she's dead, she spends her days watching TV, playing games, and eating pudding. What's more is that she hid some pretty hardcore treasures all over the island, and now they're all going to find it together. But will they be able to find it in just 11 episodes? And up next we have Sensei no 𝐜𝐴. Alright, so there are these monsters called 𝐒𝐻, and exorcists are needed to exorcise them. A female prodigy named Benio Anashino is a genius exorcist who's relocated to Tokyo by the Union. And then there's a guy named Enmadao Rokuro, who doesn't quite like this genius prodigy. For better or for worse, they witness a few children getting kidnapped by the 𝐒𝐻, and both of them rush to save the kids. When the situation gets worse, Rokuro also reveals his true strength, which makes it obvious that both Benio and Rokuro are equally capable exorcists. You'll see both of them getting closer and closer. You'll also see them getting stronger together. In short, this anime is about two talented exorcists who will make sure the 𝐒𝐻 know their place. And up next, Kami-sama Hajimemashita. A high school student named Nanami Monosoma has a lot to stress about. Her father's in extreme debt, and they lose everything and become homeless. In the middle of all her worries, she just happens to save a man who's getting harassed by a dog. She later explains her situation, how she's now homeless and all, and to her surprise, the man offers her his own home. When she gets there, she realizes that this guy's home is a shrine, and when she tries to leave, she's stopped by a fox-looking guy and shrine spirits. And just like that, she becomes the goddess of this land. I know I gave a vague explanation, but you get the general idea, right? There are yokai that she now has to deal with, and some romantic comedy too.
俺、友達ができたよ。目隠し団っていうのに入ったんだ。団員ナンバーはラッキーセブン。これからしっかり活躍できるように頑張って。ふざけんな
！And up next, we have Mekaku City actors. Now, this anime has quite a lot of main characters. I don't know which ones to really talk about. Well then, let's talk about how it begins. It's been about 2 years, and Shintaro Kisaragi is still in his home. That's right, he hasn't been out, not even once, in 2 years. But when he's arguing with a cyber girl who's supposed to be living in his computer, he accidentally spills soda over his keyboard. And because the online stores can't deliver because of the Obon festival, he has no choice but to go out to the local department store. When he does get out, he's caught in a messy situation. on top of being anxious and introverted. Then a group of teenagers show up. All of them have some strange eye abilities, and they call themselves 𝐒𝐴𝐴. They help him, and later he's forced to joining their group together with the cybergirl. After all, this anime is all about the story of each of the members' pasts and how they're all connected.
さすが𝐼𝐡𝐚𝐧𝐬𝐭さん。私の趣味ちゃんと分かってくださってたんですね。
これオープニングで確か
And up next, we have Conception. It's the high school graduation ceremony, which means that the students have just graduated from high school. The main character, 𝐒𝐡𝐚𝐧𝐬𝐭, gets some somewhat subtle news. His cousin Mahiru tells him that she's pregnant. However, the moment she shares this news with her cousin, a strange shining gate pops up out of nowhere, and the two of them are transported to a different world. This new world is called Granvania, and the impurities there have been causing chaos and disorder for quite some time. Now let's get back to the main character, who's now in this new world. He meets with the Star Maidens, and his job is to produce star children, and also to fight the impurities. That's right, his job is to produce children. It's crazy how he got one girl pregnant, and now he's on a quest to get every girl he meets pregnant. But that's the only way he and his cousin can return home. He has no choice but to do the job he's given. Even though this anime is about a guy who has to sleep with a bunch of girls, the fan service is quite within the boundaries.
お高く止まってんじゃ。
そのままそのまま脇そして胸でフェチ心をくすぐるポージングなんだはは
And up next we have Dakaraboku wa 𝐜𝐡𝐚𝐧𝐬𝐭. Alright, so this guy sees a soaking wet Shinigami named Lizara Rastal and helps her stay in this world. However, he didn't quite understand what he was getting himself into at that moment, and when he does find out, he doesn't mind it either. Truth be told, he's very well known at his school for being a hardcore pervert, and the moment he got acquainted with this hot Shinigami, his life was destined to get even more perverted. Honestly, the first few episodes are all about the happy pervert drooling all over the place. I kind of exaggerated that, didn't I? And then suddenly the show gets more interesting and enjoyable. I'd say if you decide to watch this anime, you should watch it till the end if you want to actually enjoy it.
必要なことは
まず一人で立ち上がることよ。
とても興味深い討議でした。ありがとう、マリア。
And up next, there's Junketsu no Maria. The name of this anime roughly translates to Maria the Virgin Witch. But don't get me wrong, she's cute and strong as hell. She lives with her two friends and they are in the middle of a war. It's France against England. The impact of the war continues to increase, and it doesn't take Maria long to get fed up with the situation and use her magic to prevent further damage. However, she does it a little too much, and the heavens tell her that her magic will be taken away if she uses it again. The actual condition was that if she loses her virginity, she will also lose her magic. As you can see, there is a virgin girl trying to stop a war between two nations, and the only real way to stop her is by taking her virginity away.
还不快感谢我？还请多多指教。
哎呀呀！
不对，刚才那个不是了，那只是礼仪性的握手而已。
妹子的手啊！
And coming in at third place, we have 𝐿 Senqui. Now, this one's a Chinese anime. The main character, named Chang Chan, happens to be getting wrecked by someone else. The other guy isn't pulling any punches, and Chang Chan seems to be in a very dire situation. Just then, he unintentionally invokes an artifact within him called Xiao Bai. The artifact saves his life. However, the story has just begun. Now that he realizes he's able to invoke an artifact, he'll have to fight along more people like him. There are 17 minutes per episode, but the story isn't all that original. However, if you've watched all of the Fate series, you should check it out. I've said this in another video, and I'm saying it again. This anime is for the folks who are interested in getting familiar with the Chinese anime. And if you didn't know there were Chinese anime out there, well, you'll be surprised. There are hundreds of them, and they're all hidden in the underrated stuff. Some people end up giving them a low score because their ears aren't compatible with the Chinese voice, and well, not to say I can blame them. I feel weirded out hearing these Chinese voices myself. It should be illegal to make a Chinese anime without an English dub.
草薙諸波流回転
草薙武一方的に切らせてもらうこいつサビになれると思うなよ
Up next, we got 𝐜𝐴 𝐴 𝐴 The world of this anime is filled with all kinds of magical impurities and dangers. There are people called Inquisitors, whose job is to prevent all these threats. And of course, there's also an anti-magic academy that is built to train these Inquisitors. The students are split into small groups called platoons, and the one in which our main characters are is Platoon 35. It's an incomplete platoon, which is also called the Small Fry Platoon, but things changes for them when a violent Inquisitor is forced to join this group because of her violent tendencies. Even so, she is pretty strong. So how will this group handle this new tedious member, and how will they grow stronger together? And finally, number 1. 𝐵𝐵. A century before the story of this anime takes place, there was a disaster that reformed the world. The powers of the developed nations declined, and an empire foundation took control. But that's not all. Because of this disaster, new species of humans started being born. These humans have special physical abilities. Even among them, those who are elite are given admissions in the top 6 schools around the world, and their duels take place for the sake of entertainment. The main character, Ayato Amagiri, happens to transfer to the prestigious Saidokan Academy. Students think that part of the reason for his transfer was the declining rates of duel performances of this academy. However, he displays no interest in these duels. His only concern is to find his big sister. But the later events force him to not only participate in the duels, but also to take on the most talented students from around the world. There you go, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Be sure to leave a like and a comment before you take your leave. If you're new to the channel, you should also consider turning that red subscribe button grey. I post regular content like this every other day or so. Well then, see you guys in my next video. Until then, stay safe and watch anime.